Welcome to the Realm. I'm Scotty Schemmel from Sports Realm, here with my co-hosts Severin Mole and Max DeCou. And today we have a special guest, our friend Elias Williams. And this is a Sports Realm NBA podcast. Let's start with our first topic of the day. Severin?
Yeah, so the first topic of the day, we're kind of covering what's been going on in the NBA season lately. And the biggest news kind of around the league is what in the world has happened to the Warriors? What are they going to be doing this next season, Max?
Oh, man. So, y'all know in the NBA Finals, 2 games in a row, they had KD go down to an injury. And then the game after, Klay Thompson went out to injury. They lost the NBA Finals. Then they come into the new season with, after KD leaves the team, Klay Thompson is out until March, maybe around, and then
Steve Kerr said he might not even play at all.
Yeah, Steve Kerr says he won't play. The whole season.
I wouldn't. I'd just blow it up.
And then, like 5 games into the season, Stephen Curry breaks his left hand, out about 3 months. Next game, Draymond Green injures his index finger. D'Angelo Russell's out with some injury. And they have one of the worst starting fives in the league. All right,
let's talk about the starting five last night. We had Glenn Robinson, Eric Pascal.
He actually said, I like what he said. He said he had 25 points that night.
You'd rather have 14 and a win.
He said 25 points, rather than 14 to win. That's showing Dubs winning mentality.
It is.
Sadly, it didn't work, though. They lost to the Charlotte Hornets. But
last night, they lost to the Charlotte Hornets, my team. Let's go Hornets.
Hornets all day.
Which is an understandable loss, as the Hornets are a pretty good team this year. Then, okay, so let me finish the lineup. Glenn Robinson.
They're better than expected.
Eric Pascal, Willie Cauley-Stein, Kai Bowman, and Jordan Poole. That was our starting lineup. One of the worst starting lineups they've had.
You know what that reminded me of, Scotty?
Time.
Scotty, that reminded me of when the Warriors and Spurs were absolutely going crazy. They both had their highest franchise record of all time. It was the Warriors' 73-win season, where they had a Saturday night ABC NBA primetime matchup, and they literally, both teams rested their entire starting lineups and played. That kind of reminded me of the Hornets Warriors game last night.
Hey. Okay, listen. The Hornets did great last night. P.J. Washington, 11 points. Dwayne Bacon, 25.
Hey, Terry Rozier,
20.
25 and 7. He started to find a role. Kind of help an identity. I know Devontae Graham's been balling out lately, but they kind of need to rally around Terry Rozier.
They got to get Terry going a little bit.
They better treat him like he's worth $57 million and make sure that he's the future of that franchise.
Terry's just going to be the next Kemba Walker with them. They're not going to be able to do anything. They're not going to be able to do anything big with Terry Rozier. Not anything more than Kemba Walker. They might make a playoff appearance or 2, but they're going to need a lot more than just Terry Rozier.
I think Devontae Graham can be that person. People were talking about how Devontae Graham might take Terry Rozier's starting spot this year. I don't want to go out and say all that because I don't want to ruin Terry. I wouldn't do it because I don't want to ruin Terry Rozier's confidence like that. But Devontae has been balling out.
No, I believe when Terry Rozier went to the Charlotte Hornets, first of all, they paid him that bag, so they're gonna want to secure and make sure that he's happy. Their franchise player. They don't want Hornets fans thinking we paid $57 million for a backup.
Yeah, we don't want another.
That makes them
situation.
lose confidence even more into their front office. But Terry Rozier, they're gonna want to start him this season and make sure that. I think they also made a promise when he came to the free agency because Terry Rozier, he kind of barked about Kyrie taking the ball away, Gordon Hayward the ball away. Part of their off-season pitch to Terry Rozier was, this is how we're going to make sure that you get touches, the ball's around you, this is your city. And I don't think they're going to break that promise to Terry Rozier because they already have
I wouldn't either, and that hurts confidence also. But, hey, since you're here, go check out our video from last week, my interview with Dwayne Bacon. He's a nice guy, and he dropped 25 last night. So
yeah, we'll be covering him throughout the season.
Go check that out. All right, let's move to our next topic, Lakers and Clippers, the battle for Staples Center.
So as we know, on opening night of the NBA season, you had that amazing Lakers-Clippers matchup. Opening night, the energy in that game was like a playoff game. You could not tell that was just the first game of the regular season. Both teams came out with such high intensity. In the end, my Clippers took the dub. What are you guys' thoughts on that game?
That game, Paul George wasn't healthy, so it's kind of not kind of seeing the Clippers that we're going to be used to come playoff time. But LeBron James struggled offensively that game. It is kind of old. LeBron James balled out of his mind against the Mavericks.
He did, recently.
But
last night, the night before.
yeah, it showed Kawhi or the Clippers. What they showed is that they're an elite defensive team. They're going to be that identity all year. They didn't show it against the Phoenix Suns when they lost, but the LA Clippers, they're going to build around their defensive identity, and then they got 2 killers in the clutch in PG and Kawhi Leonard.
And also, while we're on this topic, go check out my interview with Montrezl Harrell on our YouTube channel a long time ago, Sports Realm. And let's move to the next topic. Unless you want to say something else about this, Max.
I'm just saying.
Who's winning the battle right now? Who's winning the fans?
Who's winning the battle?
Who's winning the fans?
Yeah.
The fans?
Yeah, that's the battle for
Clippers.
Staples Center.
Yeah, the Clippers are not winning the fan battle right
Yeah,
now.
because you know what happened?
Kawhi Leonard was getting
the Lakers
booed.
are winning the fan battle is because of the history behind their
Exactly.
And also, they have the most popular NBA player of all time on their team.
Popular NBA
Yeah.
player.
Okay, Michael
true.
Jordan is a more
That
popular
doesn't
NBA
help.
player of all time. That brand is
But-
global.
Jordan brand.
Don't say LeBron's more popular than Jordan.
Regardless,
not true.
regardless, this could have been a sneak peek into a potential Western Conference Finals meetup. Obviously, Paul George was injured, and then LeBron definitely wasn't playing like LeBron that game. But regardless, this definitely showed the Clippers are definitely a threat.
What was revealing to me was it was a Clippers home game on the docket. But you look, it was basically a Lakers home game. It showed that
It was.
the Lakers, they're winning the battle for Staples Center. The Clippers are going to have to put together, maybe get a championship to even be considered on the same level as the Lakers
Yeah.
for the recent future.
All right, well, let's talk about the Celtics and their matchup against the Hornets on Thursday. Kemba's return to Charlotte.
Yeah, Kemba's return to Charlotte. The Boston Celtics, they're 4-1 so far this season.
Yeah, they're hot
But
right now.
I don't like how I don't really think we have a leader right now. I want that dog. Somebody we thought Kim Walker was gonna be that man, but Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Gordon Hayward, they've all been putting up points.
They have, yeah.
They've been winning games, but I'm still not convinced of their performance so far. As I've yet to see a player go out and say this is my team and everybody rally around him. It's kind of playing hot potato, and shots are falling right now. But I think when shots aren't falling, it's going to be kind of dysfunctional when they don't have a guy to go to whenever they're not playing hot potato and shots aren't dropping.
I feel like if Kemba just takes his time, it'll become his team, like Charlotte did. But
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, he just got to probably 30, 40 games in the season. It'll be his team.
Start to kind of know who to go to in the clutch and be able to trust him.
Mhm.
I definitely think that with the Celtics schedule thus far, they haven't faced that many threatening teams compared to their roster.
Milwaukee Bucks,
And I definitely,
Sixers so far.
well, the Bucks and the Sixers, but the Bucks definitely revealed the potential with this team. But with some of these teams that they're facing, including this upcoming Cavs game and then the Hornets, the return to Charlotte for Kemba, this will definitely help out with
What
the
do you
chemistry building.
You're saying that on Thursday it's going to be an easy game versus Charlotte Hornets?
I'm just saying
Because I'm saying you got another thing coming.
well, regardless, it'll still be a chemistry builder.
Okay,
No matter whether they win or
Yeah.
lose, the chemistry is all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. But it's the Hornets' only national televised game, and it's Thursday. We're gonna see my guys go out there. They're gonna give it their all, and Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, Cody Zeller, everyone, all those guys.
I think
are
Terry
come out
Rozier's
on
gonna
top.
This ain't the Warriors anymore.
Terry Rozier gonna have a bigger chip on his shoulder than Kemba Walker. I mean, with
Yeah,
all the
there's-
stuff
yeah.
That is very
he
true.
went on first take, he bashed the Celtics. Celtics gonna be ready for him. He's gonna be ready for them.
Yep. All right. Let's talk about Luka Doncic.
Yeah, kind of some exciting young players throughout the season. The two I've been most impressed with is Luka Doncic balling out of his mind. I mean,
And his battle with LeBron, that was amazing.
like
That was-
6'8", his ability to hit step backs. They relied on him on the clutch, and his ability to play make for others is crazy.
I mean, no three by Danny Green at the end in overtime, and that's Luka Doncic's night. It's over right there, and he did better than LeBron.
Impressive triple double. But then I've also been really impressed with
Trae
Pascal
Young?
Siakam.
Oh,
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal, spicy P.
Pascal, dude.
He's a star that in this league that's here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
And he's shown it this season. He's most improved last year. He's improving even more off that campaign, and he's shown that he's going to be a star, and he's going to be an all-star starter for years to come.
Definitely. Max?
my young guy, so despite the ankle
Trae?
injury that he just recently sustained, Trae Young, that dude has been balling. He's
He's
been showing
destroying.
his shots been on. He's shooting much more efficiently than he has been.
I don't think that'll hold up.
You don't think it'll hold up?
No, his efficiency. Yes, he had a couple 30-plus point performances to start the season, but then it's kind of showing there's nobody else to relieve pressure off of him other than John Collins dumping, and I think John Collins cutting to the rim. But I don't think there's enough. They're going to start keying in on him even more, and kind of a James Harden sense, except for he's not big enough to deal with that kind of pressure. So they're going to have to defer from him, and some of his stats are going to go down because he's not going to be able to maintain that kind of workload throughout the season.
I'm a little curious with the Trae Young, Luka Doncic. I definitely think that or Doncic. I definitely think that those two have, I wouldn't say a rivalry, but definitely they will be compared to each other as they have.
Yeah, they were part of that trade.
They were traded on draft night.
They were traded for each other, and they definitely have been tearing up the league so far.
Trae Young at the end of last season, I thought he might have a brighter future than Luka Doncic, but after the start of this season, I would say Luka Doncic will have a better career than Trae Young.
I agree with that. But I think they're both pretty close. But
Yeah, Trae Young's bright future.
Yeah.
Incredible playmaker, passing, shooting. But Luka Doncic at 6'8", I think he's just more valuable.
But I'm sure with you, like when you like the other night seeing him versus LeBron, I don't know if that changed your mind, but that changed my mind. Like that just blew me
that definitely
away.
changed
Big time
my mind.
moment.
Yeah.
Luka also, I feel, has like a better veteran cast around him, and on top of that, the Mavericks. I'm sure they'll always have Dirk Nowitzki to come and give him some advice, which definitely will give him, I think, a little bit of an edge over Trae Young, who doesn't really have
Luka
as many.
Luka has Kristaps Porzingis to take the load off, and that's crucial. That's a duo that he's going to be able to flourish with
that's gonna be a
and
deadly
pair with the
duo.
rest of his.
But we do need to see KP improve because Anthony Davis, you could just tell he was so much better in that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no question Anthony Davis is a better player than Kristaps Porzingis right now.
But I think KP has a potential though, so he just needs to get back in the gym and get working.
Yeah, that pick and pop game with Luka Doncic is deadly.
Oh yeah,
Luka Doncic ain't the kind of hard drive to the rim that you usually think of when pick and pop, but Luka Doncic, there's just going to be too many bodies and looking for Kristaps, looking for Doncic. Doncic be able to kick to the corner, and be able to create others off just Kristaps Porzingis threat from the outside.
Definitely.
Well, I definitely think that this Luka LeBron game that just went down, I think this will be one of those games that we look upon in years to come as one of those Jordan Kobe games almost. As like
It's going to be like on that YouTube highlight reel, Dawkins
It
highlight.
could be, yeah.
Absolutely.
Luka
That
dropped
was a
35 on LeBron.
classic.
Definitely, that's a classic game right there.
What about the James Harden versus Bradley Beal classic? 159 to 158.
It was
That
an anti-defense classic.
Maybe not a classic, but like 59 points. That was pretty fun to watch. No defense.
59 points and hit 21 free throws.
In all
It was-
honesty,
I don't know. I think it was crazy though. That's so many points.
He had the 21 free throws in the 40-point performance.
Yeah.
I wasn't that surprised with James Harden's 59-point game. I mean, that's just James Harden.
He showed it last year.
James Harden.
This is James Harden.
But it's
doing his
just
thing.
still fun to watch. Even
Yeah.
though we know it's gonna happen, it's just so cool to see someone do that.
I'm definitely surprised that he's doing this alongside with Russell Westbrook, who, correct me if I'm wrong, is still averaging a triple double, or not averaging. He's close to. He's still getting triple doubles.
Yeah,
Yes.
Westbrook has
He's
shown
definitely
he knows how to get his teammates involved. I've loved the evolution that Russell Westbrook has shown as a player. Coming to the league, he's kind of that stereotypical, I'm going to score, I'm going to get my 5 assists a game, but now he's transformed into a player who's a threat to lead the league in assists every single season.
All right, well, let's move on to our power rankings.
Top 5 teams
big
in the
topic,
NBA.
top 5.
Not for the rest of the season or so far, but today,
Right,
who are the
today.
5 best teams in basketball?
Let's start out with Elias. Elias, let's hear your number one.
My number one team, I have the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's
Scotty?
very interesting. Severn,
Yeah.
you got it next.
I have the Los Angeles Lakers at number 1.
The Los Angeles Lakers is number one. Max?
Unfortunately, I have to put the Los Angeles Lakers at number 1.
Yeah, we both hate him. I'm a Celtics fan.
I have the Los Angeles Lakers at number one. And the reasoning behind the Lakers being at number one is because Anthony Davis and LeBron. If you just look at Anthony Davis, he's one of the best players in the world, and it's just not
leading the league
fair.
in
Anthony
blocks.
Davis is better than anybody on the 76ers, and LeBron James is better than anybody on the 76ers.
Yeah, I completely agree
can
with that.
agree with
That's
that.
just insane.
My reason for putting the Sixers above the Lakers
Odd
is
man out.
simply just because that they're obviously the only undefeated team left, and if you look at who they face the Celtics, they faced the Timberwolves, the Trailblazers, and the Pistons. All of those teams are, as of right now, still doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure they all have winning records, but they also have just a better roster overall. They definitely don't got the better star players, but I definitely think
Okay.
as time goes on, Embiid and Ben Simmons will be able to
Elias.
make some noise.
If the 76ers and Lakers play tonight, who's winning?
If the 76ers and the Lakers
If they were to play tonight.
it very much depends on which stadium that they're playing at.
Well, let's say they're playing in Philly.
If they're playing in Philly, I think it'll be a very close win. I definitely think it'll be
tonight there's no Joel Embiid if they played.
well,
I'm saying both teams are healthy. Who's winning?
I would have the Sixers winning. If it's a one game and it's at Philly, I definitely think Philly would win. But
I would
if
have to disagree
in
because
a 7-game series, the Lakers will win.
yeah, we're not talking about playoff time, but we're talking about right now. One game, I'm taking the Los Angeles Lakers because the amount of size they have in their front court is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's not fair.
And that's the thing that Philadelphia has on everybody is that they have their size. They can just punish and bruise people. But the Lakers, they have the ability to throw that size, and they have the shooting to combat that. The Sixers, they have the same size, but they're lacking that shooting ability. And the Lakers are just going to wreak havoc on them with LeBron on Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis on Joel Embiid. And then they're going to run the ball up and down the court, run circles around the Joel Embiid needs to get better conditioning.
And again, this brings up that other problem with the Sixers. If hypothetically, if Ben Simmons, let's say he did get a 3-point shot, then
it's not happening this year.
Obviously not this season. I would highly doubt that, but I think he should at least show progression in it. Obviously, we saw his first career 3-pointer earlier in the season, but that
preseason.
In the preseason, yeah.
And going back
a 3 in his career.
Going back to the Lakers, they have their front court's just not fair. Like their whole team's just not fair.
Yeah, they're so long and athletic. And
they have a very long
Anthony
team.
Davis,
Yeah.
LeBron.
And then if you look at it, Anthony Davis at the 4, they are plus 13.6 points when he's at the 4, with JaVale or Dwight at the 5. That's just not fair. You have LeBron, JaVale, and Anthony Davis. I mean, yeah, and either Anthony Davis or JaVale or Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight Howard is also top 5 in the league in blocks per game right now.
Like everyone's going
I
crazy.
understand that.
Like
Yeah, so they have 3 people to absolutely just punish, and just JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard can just be dedicated to punishing and going
Inside
out
and going for
Embiid.
boards.
And Anthony Davis is free to roam, grab boards, run on the court,
and go
show
against
why
the
he's great.
smaller man who cannot guard Anthony
Their
Davis,
front
and he
court
can't
is
guard
just
Dwight Howard, and he can't guard
devastating.
JaVale.
It's absolutely devastating, their front court. I mean,
So that's why I'm taking Los Angeles Lakers as 76ers. But I will say the Philadelphia Sixers have looked great. Their size is a problem for just about every team in the league. But I have the Philadelphia 76ers number 2 in the league.
What do you guys think about the
I
cat
have them
fight?
too.
Cat
Oh,
and
Karl Anthony
Joel.
Towns, Joel Embiid fight.
I enjoyed it. I definitely.
For me-
I think it
Relax.
shows. I
Relax.
think it,
you enjoy
Relax.
not that I like seeing people fight, but I'm glad to see that physical game is at least still
I
present.
understand that part of it.
What in the world was Ben Simmons doing, just laying on top
That
of Anthony
was-
Towns and putting him in a
Why
headlock?
That's-
didn't he
that
get
is-
punished
He didn't get
for
a
it?
suspension.
He didn't get.
That
he
is
didn't
that
get
is
a
absolutely
fine,
like
suspension.
discussing what he did, not just from like a NBA standpoint as like what they should do to him, but like on top of that, just from like a fighter standpoint. How are you about to jump on a man on a man's back and then try and put him in a chokehold?
Well, from my perspective, I didn't think that Joel was in the right there because even when he was
Neither
doing
of them were in the right.
no, but like
Yeah.
I was on more Cat's side in that situation. Just
Yeah, Elton Brand went on to Woj's podcast and he straight put up Cat on blast like he's not biased as a Philadelphia 76ers general manager. But this shows that David Stern is no longer in the commissioner league. He no longer has influence because Adam Silver, he's always more the lenient, progressive commissioner coming into the league. But you got to be able to control your players. Ben Simmons not getting for a headlock. Like I don't understand.
yeah, they said it was
game
not
or a fine.
Yeah, he was just trying to be a
sense.
peacemaker. No way.
Yeah,
Completely uncalled
especially
for.
with like at least a fine. Like if you remember, I'm not sure whether this was last season or the season before, but Joel Embiid was fined $10,000 for trashing LeVar Ball. On
I saw
Instagram.
that. Yeah.
So I think that definitely should have at least gotten.
They're gonna find Draymond Green for laughing on Twitter. He didn't even directly say anything about the refs, but just for laughing on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're gonna find him for that, but not gonna find Ben Simmons for putting Anthony Towns on a headlock. It just doesn't make sense.
They gotta fix the ref.
All right, well let's move on to number 2. Severin.
I the Philadelphia 76ers, as I said before.
I second the Philadelphia 76ers.
I have the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
I have the I gotta think about this. The Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets.
I have the Denver Nuggets right now. Today, I have the Denver Nuggets
Why is that?
because they are a very solid team right now. They're one of 2 teams with 2 wins, trailing by double digits, and they are. Wait, let me read this right. Wait. They're the first team in 19 years to beat the Trailblazers in their home opener. Wait.
That's obscure,
that's-
useless.
no,
stat.
that's
19 games.
That's a
Wait.
home
That's a-
opener.
wait,
That is
that's a
a
19
home opener.
game
It doesn't
stat.
matter.
Wait. That's just kind of interesting, though. I didn't even know the Blazers were like that.
The Golden State Warriors got blown out in their home opener.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So the Philadelphia 76ers, Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, I would give them their offensive edge. I think Philadelphia 76ers is still a great offensive team, but defensively, there's not even you can't even comprehend the disparity between Denver Nuggets and Philadelphia 76ers defensively. Who on the Nuggets is getting it done on defense?
Juancho Hernan-Gomez.
Yeah, like 76ers, just their defense is like
The 76ers
vaunting.
are a defense and size first team.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to decide because I know Philadelphia is my number 3, but like I don't know. Like you still think about it, they still have Michael Porter Jr. outside of the top 10, the 10-man rotation. We don't know what he can do.
Healthy, not because
No,
he's
been
no, but we don't know what he can do.
you could
He
say
could come back soon and just be a monster.
You could
But
say the
he
same
could also
thing
be a dud.
for the New Orleans Pelicans, though. I mean, Zion Williamson's been injured, but like that doesn't.
Yeah, we're not including Paul George.
Yeah, we're not including Paul George or
because we're talking about NBA right now. But Yeah, Denver Nuggets, they're definitely a great team. They showed a lot of promise last year, making it to the 2 seed. Sadly, Dame had to end their season, but
That was a.
But,
that was a sad
just-
moment.
CJ ended the season.
Yeah.
shut up. Dame's like that. Okay,
CJ ended their season.
CJ. Actually, this is a true fact.
I
Max.
definitely.
but the 76ers defense is just too much to put the Denver Nuggets over them.
The 76ers are just
Dame
better
ended the Thunder
overall,
season.
Period. I think.
Not.
Dame's son, Paul George, but
Yeah.
he's his dad. Okay.
All right.
Number 3 in the
Number
power
3,
rankings.
I have the Philadelphia 76ers. As you know, we already talked about them for a lot. You guys know the reason.
Elias, who do you have number 3?
I have the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh.
Ooh, I like it. I like it,
don't.
Elias. I like it a lot.
Max.
All right, we'll talk about that later. Number 3, I have the Milwaukee Bucks.
Same. I got Milwaukee
Really?
Bucks number 3.
Huh.
All right.
So, Elias, they have
The Timberwolves number 3?
they have the same top 3.
The Timberwolves have. The Timberwolves, I just think overall, Karl Anthony Towns, I underestimated him, at least for my predictions for him and the
that
team.
man's a dog.
He
but
is destroying.
He's
what's his
amazing.
help? What's his help?
But what's his help?
Yeah.
That's the big problem there. But regardless, they still have a 4-1 record, and they're.
I know, but they're
for
not going to be able to sustain that without Andrew Wiggins not going to be getting 3 straight threes in many games.
We
How
don't
do you
know
know?
that yet. We don't know that yet.
How do
but
I know?
Andrew Wiggins might have fully
Because he hasn't
unlocked his
shown anything to
potential.
show me that he can hit 3 straight threes.
Jalen
in
Brown hasn't
games
shown
consistently.
anything that he deserves a $115 million contract.
Bucks at number 3. I'm not
But-
putting. I don't have to tell this in my top 5. I don't know why you're talking about Jalen Brown.
I'm not. I'm just bringing that up. That like a young player doesn't like necessarily. What season is he in right now with Andrew Wiggins? Is this his
Andrew Wiggins. It's his 5th
his
season.
5th season? He
Uh,
still has.
No, sorry, it's his 6th. He was drafted 2014.
I still
that
think
man
he
didn't leave
like
that long.
he can still
Yeah.
I
show
still
out, but
feel like we're debating
he's
on
gonna
whether or not
need.
he's a bust
He's got to
after 6
realize that he
years.
is not the main option with this team, and he's got to set up Karl Anthony Towns almost as like.
That Andrew Wiggins can't set up people. That's not his role. But yeah, so the Timberwolves, Milwaukee Bucks. I'm taking the Milwaukee Bucks over the Timberwolves because you look at that team. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns is amazing. He's showing he's a top 3 center in this league. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is a better player. Is that not true?
That is very true.
All right, and then you go
Absolutely.
down the line, and you got Chris Middleton. He's definitely better than the Timberwolves.
That doesn't
second
show
best player.
off in their record though. Right now, their record, the Bucks.
Yes,
record
the
is what-
Timberwolves have a better record, but they're not a better team.
They're not the better team, but as of right
Not
now,
the better team. That
as-
means
they're
right
not
now
a be-
tonight, the Timberwolves are a better team than the
as
Milwaukee
of right,
Bucks.
as of right.
Well, I mean,
now-
tonight I don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah, as of tonight, it's hard to tell because the Bucks haven't shown anything that they can.
The
even
Bucks
They haven't
are
shown
4
anything.
and
They
2.
showed they had the best record in the league last
They
year.
showed
and
that they had
they're
the
bringing
best record
everybody
in the
back.
league
And
last season.
Malcolm Brogdon was on that team for the majority of the year, so they had the best record in the league. And then they lost Malcolm Brogdon over the offseason, but they were still able to ball out last year without them. I think they've shown enough last year. You look at you bring up record from last year also into this
Obviously,
equation for a larger
record
sample
from
size.
last year, it's not even comparable. The Bucks are just absolutely better.
Exactly.
As of last year, though, from the season so far, the Timberwolves are just playing better.
Well,
they don't have the better
well,
roster,
well,
but they've been playing much
Well,
better.
we're gonna
not
see.
playing
We're gonna see tomorrow
They're not
night at
playing
8
better.
p.m.
Elias, continuing on the Timberwolves topic, you're trying to tell me the Timberwolves are a top 5 team in this league, yet you don't have the Spurs or the Heat in your top 5. Why don't you have that if they're only going by record?
Again, partially, it's not all by record because Karl Anthony Towns has been devastating so far, and on top of that,
One-man team.
they also
Giannis Antetokounmpo
they have a deeper they also got you brought up the Spurs
Deeper
and the Heat.
roster.
I think their best
Well,
player.
no, we're talking about the Bucks versus the Timberwolves. That's the main topic right now.
Well, Bucks Timberwolves again. That's yet to be seen with the Timberwolves yet because we're only 5 or 6 games
Then
in the
why are you
season.
so anxious to put them over?
Because
the,
I'm doing this on so
Defending
far
regular season
in
champ.
the season. I feel that they have performed better as a whole than
We're not
the
talking about
Bucks
who's- We're
have.
talking about who's a better team today.
With the better team, then yeah, I'll give that to the
Yeah,
Bucks.
Milwaukee
then.
Bucks.
Yes.
Better team than the Timberwolves.
All right, let's move. Okay, let's move on to the next and 5th final team of our power rankings so far.
No.
Sorry, we're moving on to 4th.
Oh,
Fourth,
fourth.
I have
Okay,
the
we're
Los
moving to
Angeles
4th.
Clippers.
I also have the Los Angeles Clippers.
I have the Los Angeles Clippers.
I have the Los Angeles Clippers.
All right, so we're all in agreement. The Clippers are a top 5 team in this league. They've shown it. They had a little hiccup against the Suns, which I don't know what really happened.
It's just
there.
one bad night, though. I believe it was one
It
bad
was
night.
not their night.
Suns playing well together. Javon Carter, that man's a dog. Next, Patrick Beverly.
The only reason
Fun.
that I don't have them 1 or 2 is because Paul George. I'm pretty sure that we could all agree
Yeah,
with that.
PG with a shoulder injury, but
The game that I think really disappointed me in the Clippers' performance was definitely against the Jazz. They were missing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but in my opinion, I thought that they had the deepest roster in the league and definitely one of the best defensive teams in the league. And I thought that they should, at a minimum, have given the Jazz a fighting chance, but they did not seem to play very well that game. So I think that's definitely speaking numbers. Again, this is without their 2 best players, but
Yeah,
I think
they're
that
definitely not gonna count that one against them too much.
yeah.
But yeah, LA Clippers, they got Trez, Lou off the bench, outstanding, devastating duo. That's dangerous off the bench, and then you got that stacked starting lineup with Kawhi and Patrick Beverley leading that. Just the defenders everywhere. It's
Pat
a
Beverly,
scary team.
Montrezl
When
Harrell.
PG comes back, they're definitely gonna move up to these rankings, potentially number 1 or 2.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Trez. He's balling out this year.
Yeah,
That's our guy.
shout out Trez. All right,
All right.
number 5.
Five.
I have the
final
Denver
team.
Nuggets. In my
Denver
top
Nuggets.
5. Which Scotty, you had him at 3.
I had him at 3.
I
It's kinda
understand
generous,
you won't hate me for putting him in my top 5.
Number 5, I have the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Number 5,
that's
I have
interesting.
the Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks 5.
Again, this is
Number 5, I had the Milwaukee Bucks. They slipped a little down on my list, but I'm gonna put them at 5.
So, y'all, what is disappointing you about the Milwaukee Bucks so far?
I'm just
Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon not being there, but he wasn't
Yeah.
there for a majority of the last season too.
Yeah,
But I guess
I
in
know.
the postseason
Yeah.
when they had him, they still weren't. able
Well, I
to
mean
do
that's the
that.
only reason that because I'm just thinking about like he's kind of balling right now, and it's just kind of
let's take some time to appreciate Malcolm Brogdon.
yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon coming in averaging 13 and I believe like 13 and 5, 13
Yeah.
and 6 his rookie year. Out of Virginia, as a product out of Virginia, he came in the league, 23-year-old rookie. Everybody kind of viewed him as a finished product, averaging 13 and 6. Oh, he won the rookie of the year because Joel Embiid was hurt so much, but he showed that even coming to the league at 23, he was not a finished product. He's unlocked the element of playmaking into his game.
definitely.
And his efficient shooting is just remarkable. So the efficient scoring and playmaking combination is going to be deadly for years to come.
part of my disappointment in the Milwaukee Bucks was definitely that Celtics game, that 19-point comeback, and they lost by 11. It didn't end close. They lost by 11 as well.
Yeah.
So that definitely, I think, as a former 60-win team, 1 seed, and definitely one of the most entertaining teams in the previous playoffs, I definitely think that there's absolutely no reason they should have blown a 19-point lead and lost by 11.
Yeah, they had a hiccup, but that Celtics team isn't a joke either, as Max said, putting them at 5. But touching on Denver Nuggets again, I know I bashed their defense when Scotty had them at 3. But offensively, Nikola Jokic, he's the engine of that team. And
He is, and he's a playmaker.
other than
He
Stephen
is
Curry, I think he's the best offensive
gonna be nasty
engine
this
in
season.
basketball. Just kind of
The way he
people got
works,
close
everything
on
he
him,
does.
how he can pass at that
Mhm.
size is just like unimaginable. But yeah, him and Jamal Murray kind of a deadly duo, and they're just a running gun team. Denver identity. Back when they had Ty Lawson, they were known for that too.
Wait, I'm sorry, Sarah. What was your number 5?
The Denver Nuggets.
Oh yeah, the Denver Nuggets. Oh yeah. That's understandable. I
Alright,
agree with
so Max, you had the Boston
They're in top
Celtics.
five.
I did have the Boston Celtics.
Explain, Max. Explain.
All right, so you can see they
The record,
do have,
yeah.
they do have the 4-1 record, and what they've been doing compared to what they've been doing last year, they're clicking. They have a more of a chemistry, especially when you take that centerpiece that they had previous years in Kyrie Irving and replace it with Kemba Walker, completely new guy coming in. They have shown that they have a much greater sense of team chemistry. As you can see, you have someone like Kemba Walker, who's known for being the guy in clutch moments, who can defer it to Jason Tatum in what we saw in like previous
Knicks
games.
game?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
Knicks game.
I have the Celtics as a very, very close number 6, but the big thing with them is that they just haven't faced that much competition. Again, they did face the Bucks, and they did face the Sixers, and definitely props to them on that Bucks game. But they just, overall, I'm still not convinced in them because it's a very new roster. There's a lot that changed this offseason for them. And if they keep playing at this rate, especially in some of these upcoming games and potentially in when they face harder to face teams like the Clippers, teams like that,
Yeah.
they will definitely, I think if they can keep this up, they can definitely be favorites in the East, or potentially at least.
I'm a diehard Celtics fan. I'm the biggest Celtics fan you'll find. But the Boston Celtics, what scares me this year,
the
I
center
hate them not
position.
having my top 5, but I mean I'm biased on
The
here.
center position.
Their front court is, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. It's such a
god-awful.
nightmare. There's no rim protection.
That Al Horford loss is starting.
There's
is
no rim
definitely
protection.
showing itself.
Rim protection is the most valuable thing on basketball and defense. And
Cantor's
without
gotta carry
the
the-
heart
carry
of
the
your
front
defense,
court.
Ennis Cantor, as
He's-
Jalen Rose
he's not
put
a
it,
defender.
can't guard a graveyard. So I don't know. Ennis Cantor, great for offensive rebounding and some low post scoring, but Daniel Tice ain't gonna get the job done either. We need a trade for rim protector for me to have confidence in this team moving forward into the season.
All right,
I agree with that.
We'll see what happens. We got a lot more stuff coming soon on our YouTube channel. Just stay in tune, subscribe, and like the video. Thank you guys for listening.
Sports Realm.
Out.
Out.